This is the story of a teenage runaway who built a dynasty at the deadliest wave on Earth, living a life that is truly out of this world.
My mom surfs really good, and she kind of got me into surfing when I was young.
The main focus is just being out in the ocean and having a good
14th, 1978. Alexandra Florence was born in Ocean Grove, New Jersey, a conservative Christian seaside town defined by cold winters and strict rules. Her parents raised her with discipline, never imagining that the Atlantic Ocean would soon steal their daughter away forever. Alex discovered surfing at age 10. She rode waves with her siblings in oversized wetsuits, but brief Jersey summers were not enough. At age 12, after watching Chris Bystrom's surf film, Beyond Blazing Boards, she became obsessed, not just with surfing, with Hawaii. 4 years later, she made it happen. She competed in bikini contests, first in New Jersey, then at the OP Pro in Huntington Beach, where she placed top 10. She cashed her winnings and bought that ticket west. The year was 1986. Alex Florence had just become one of surfing's great runaways. She landed in Honolulu with a backpack and a skateboard, then hitchhiked to the North Shore. By that evening, she had secured housing, Velzyland, $50 a month for an outdoor room. Back then, only about 5 women actually surfed the North Shore. Alex was one of them. The local Hawaiian heavies noticed, especially junior boy Moe Pono. She describes him as 150-plus kilos of intimidation. But he and others took the young mainlander under their protection. Within weeks, she landed her first gig, an extra in the 1987 surf film North Shore. There she is in the Halloween party scene, permed blonde hair, leopard print lycra, standing alongside legends like Laird Hamilton and Jerry Lopez. For the next 6 years, Alex lived the ultimate surf nomad existence. A year on Kauai at Hanalei Bay, 6 months in Bali, where Australian surfers taught her to ride motorcycles. She traveled to Lombok, made the exhausting 24-hour journey to G-Land, Indonesia. There, she contracted malaria, so severe she had to be flown home. She worked as a cruise ship waitress in the Caribbean, backpacked through Europe. Then in February 1992, during travels in Austria, everything changed. Alex became pregnant.
My mom surfs really good, and she kind of got me into surfing when I was young.
He was born and raised right on this beach, so he was just kind of growing up and surfing every day.
John Florence was born October 18, 1992, named after John F. Kennedy Jr., the kid who bravely saluted his father's coffin. Nathan arrived June 10, 1994. Ivan in 1996.
Come on, look at the inside. How's that inside bowl?
Shortly after Ivan's birth, the boy's father split town. A convicted felon. At 26 years old, Alex Florence became a single mother of 3 on the North Shore. No money, no family support, no plan except survival. What followed were years that would have broken most people. She sometimes served cornflakes for dinner. To keep a roof over their heads, Alex took in up to 10 boarders at a time. Young surfers sleeping on floors for $250 a month. Their mothers would later write thank you letters. They praised Alex's strict curfews, her no partying rules. She tended bar for cash. She enrolled at the University of Hawaii for an English literature degree. But here's the genius part. She strategically extended her studies. Student loans could fund the family's beach lifestyle. Her loans grew so large she jokes you'd think she was the gnarliest surgeon ever. When the father left, Alex made a move that sounds insane. She packed up her 3 young sons. Ivan was in a cast from a broken leg. They flew to Binjin, Bali, on just $1,200. They lived there for 4 months on $10 a day. This set her philosophy. Wherever she went, the boys went. No TV, no video games. She told them to get out, play outside. And outside meant the ocean.
I'm John Florence, and I'm 15 years old. John, he's pretty much the best of them all at surfing because he's the oldest.
People tend to like gravitate towards them and really like bring them in.
We've all been talking for a couple of years that John's gonna know these waves out here better than anyone. Sum it up for me is he's the only one that doesn't know that he's the little guy. He sees everybody else. You know, everybody else notices how small he is. To him, it seems like it's totally normal.
The family rented a house one back from the sand at Rocky Point. Then when John was about 10, they drove past a beachfront house at Pipeline. They saw a car in the driveway. Mother and son walked up, simply asked if they could rent it. They moved in shortly after. The proving grounds of professional surfing, the world's most dangerous wave. And Alex didn't just live there. She taught her sons to surf it. When they expressed fear, her response was always the same: suck it up.
Anyway, in every activity, so it's like I was never really that worried, and because I introduced them to a lot of sports really young, I felt like they're pretty comfortable with everything.
The North Shore community became their extended family. By age 7, John was being towed into massive waves by Herbie Fletcher, pioneer of jet ski assist surfing. Jamie O'Brien showed him where to sit in the lineup. P.D. Johnson taught him to ride a bike, helped with homework. The notorious North Shore Wolfpack became protective uncles. Kayla Alexander, Kai Garcia, Eddie Rothman, who taught the boys boxing. Alex herself switched to longboarding in her early 20s. She still surfs Pipeline today, preferring the shoulder when it's west. She rides boards shaped by Travis Reynolds, hit spots like Pupukia, Ahukai, Gums, Gas Chambers, and Chun's Reef. By her own admission, she drops in on her sons more than they drop in on her. Years passed. Sunrise sessions, wipeouts, competition after competition, hours in the water that most people can't imagine. The poverty continued, but so did the training. And then the results started coming. The results of this wild upbringing were unlike anything the sport had seen. John Florence became a 3-time World Surf League champion. 2016, 2017, 2024. Multiple Pipe Masters titles. Olympic competitor. One of surfing's biggest names. Nathan Florence won the 2019 Red Bull Cape Fear. Earned the 2024 SIMA Waterman of the Year award. Built a massive YouTube following.
My name is Nathan Florence. I'm from North Shore, Oahu. My mom would push him to surf every day. The more my mom tried to push me, I was like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go body surf or something like. But yeah, I started liking it a little later, and then the competition turned on.
Ivan Florence became a professional surfer and skater. 3 world-class athletes, raised by a single mother who sometimes couldn't afford dinner. But here's where Alex Florence's story gets truly extraordinary. At an age when most mothers might slow down, she's living harder than ever. She only started skateboarding as an adult. Now she can ride large bowls, grinds, stalls, technical tricks that take years to master. Other skaters tell her sons, "That's your mom? I wish my mom skated."
My mom does everything. Just makes our beds, makes us food, cleans the dishes, washes our clothes, takes us to the contest, takes us surfing, makes sure we're eating good, everything for us.
After getting hooked at Kahuku Track, she bought a dirt bike, then a trials bike. Her sons don't ride. This hobby is entirely hers. She pursued ballroom dancing after developing a love for 1940s music. She shoots black and white Super 8 film, once captured all the castles of Scotland in that format. With her English literature degree, she devours everything. Charles Bukowski, Tom Wolfe, shares books with Nathan. Her music tastes? Black Sabbath and Motorhead, Billie Holiday and Johnny Cash. Currently listening to the Black Lips. When asked about the most magical place she's visited, she says Africa without hesitation. "I just remember being on the beach. It seemed like the last frontier. The sky just seemed endless." Throughout her sons' careers, Alex remained invisible. Photographers nicknamed her Mom John. Why? Because no one actually knew her name. Despite her constant presence at competitions, she flew so far below the radar that British Vogue, US Vogue, and Elle had to run features just to introduce this solo surf mom and her shaggy-haired boys to the world. She never delegated her sons' careers. Her explanation? "No one's going to love them more than me. I'm a little old school that way. I can't let go." She remains their business and travel manager, handling everything from contracts to logistics. She's also a key figure in Florence Marine X, their family-owned surf brand. After leaving Hurley, the brothers built their own empire. Alex helped make it happen. She describes herself as slave, cook, cleaner, errand runner, businesswoman. Her parenting philosophy came from her father. Put your head down, keep marching on like a soldier. She watched her kids like a hawk, but never let them or others know it. She lived life to the fullest, accomplished something every single day. No sitting around days allowed in the Florence household. The family maintained a healthy diet: vegetarian sandwiches, boca burgers, salads, grape nut cereal. Simplicity and discipline defined the North Shore home. In 2022, the ultimate validation arrived. John Florence purchased something priceless, not just any house. The house. The childhood rental home at Pipeline where they'd lived during those poverty years. The same house where he learned to surf, where they squeezed in boarders, where his mother served cornflakes for dinner. He bought it for her. $2.995 million, right next door to Kelly Slater's place. After decades of struggle, Alex Florence now owns beachfront property at the most famous wave in the world. The rental that once cost her everything to keep, now hers, forever. The family's ocean connection runs deeper than surfing. They sail together on their yacht, Vela, crossing vast stretches of the Pacific, from Vanuatu to Hawaii, exploring remote breaks, living the waterwoman life Alex has always championed. In May 2024, John became a father. His son Darwin made Alex a grandmother. In September 2024, John won his third world championship. The Florence family legacy cemented. Today, Alex Florence continues surfing the pipe, managing her son's affairs, riding dirt bikes, living by her philosophy. The ocean saved my life. The beach was like another parent. It raised my boys with me. At an age when most people settle into retirement, she's proving that an extraordinary life has no expiration date.
Think about this journey. She arrived in Hawaii at 16 with nothing. She raised 3 champions alone in poverty at one of the most dangerous waves on Earth. She never asked for recognition, never sought the spotlight, never stopped moving forward. Alexandra Florence's life is out of this world because she refused to accept the world's limitations. A teenage runaway became the matriarch of surfing's greatest dynasty. A single mother on welfare raised 3 world-class athletes. A woman who once struggled to afford food now owns Pipeline real estate. And through it all, she kept surfing, kept pushing, kept proving that the most extraordinary lives aren't built by those born with everything. They're built by those willing to risk everything for a dream that started on a cold New Jersey beach 40 years ago.